ladies and gentlemen. We are in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. We beat Leeds United 2-0. I'm just doing my review of the game. First and foremost, I'm ecstatic that we're in we've got a chance of winning the competition. I demand, as an Arsenal fan, that we take the competition seriously. I always want Arsenal to win every cup. I'm not buying into this absolute nonsense and inane crap that, the Carabao Cup is beneath me and that the FA Cup's beneath us, that we've got to concentrate on Europe, the Champions League. As far as I'm concerned, it's all about trophies. Let's be real about this. One of the reasons why Arteta, he's in the job because he's won the FA Cup. So he is a trophy-winning manager for this football club. So if it's good enough for Arteta, it's good enough for me to take this cup seriously. First and foremost, I just want to sort of read off some plaudits for a couple of players. First and foremost, I want to give Leno some plaudits. It must be very difficult for Burnt not to be the first choice. But I just want to not just talk about the saver from Harrison, but his whole all-round game and his command of his area. That's something I've been calling for a long time. Maybe having Ramsdale amongst the squad and taking his shirt away from him has finally been kick up the backside that Burnt needed. However, Ramsdale is number one on merit and deserves it. But one thing I do hope, that if anything happens to Aaron, that Leno will step up the plate, not just by just taking his shirt, but putting performances like this. Also, Ben White, before he getting injured, very, very pleased with his performance. Thought he did really well. Also, I was extremely pleased with the tenacity and the midfield play of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Very pleased with him. He took his chance. It's a different kind of game. I thought that it was bits and pieces in the first half, because I thought that's probably understandable because of the fact that you've got players, who don't normally play getting games. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is one of them. Also, Nketiah, and you've got Rob Holding as well, who I thought did okay. Like I said, brought the ball out a lot alongside his new mate Ben White, and I thought, that those were the pleasing aspects of the game. However, in the first half, I thought Leeds were the better side. I thought that they broke up the play and they were really, really good on the counter attack. And I thought Burnt was our man of the match in that first half. However, I spoke to a friend of mine who's a Leeds fan, and I said, "You're going to rue not putting the ball in there," because I think the second half I'm winning a lot better, and I thought we were. The tempo was a lot better. Our passing range was a lot better, and I must say that the goal was fully deserved. There was a lot of pressure. As soon as it left Callum's head, I thought he went over the line. So it wasn't a surprise to me when the goal was given. Then the second goal, mistakes by Greenwood and Cooper, Ladd and Nketiah, who I thought worked really hard, worked his nuts off to get a second. And after that, it could have been like the only team who was going to look like they're going to score was us. I thought Leeds looked a bit knackered because of the exertions in the first half. But, it wasn't the greatest performances. But you know what? When you are on a kind of a run, an unbeaten run, which we're on, which is 8 games, you are going to get, performances like that where you're not going to particularly play well, but because you're used to, either drawing and winning, you are going to get, bits of luck coming your way. And I thought that happened today. However, all eyes are on Leicester, which is a massive game. They've got a game tomorrow in the Carabao Cup, and we're going to be in draw for Saturday. I just want to express a little frustration with Pepe. He's a player that I've grown to, he's grown on me, but I just thought that today, I don't think he took his chance today, which was really disappointing. I think he's trying too hard, and I think what it is because we're not in. But what I mean is that because we're not getting too much possession, I think that whenever he gets the ball, he thinks he's got to do something. But, you can't keep on playing like this because, you've got me knocking on that door. You've got to make it difficult for Mikel to leave you out the side. And at the moment, you made it easy for him not to select you for Leicester. So that's one kind of disappointing aspect of the game. Also, I thought Martinelli was a bit disappointing as well. I thought he was in Drama's pocket. And I just do still think that, a lot of people rave about Gabriel Martinelli, but me, I think he's just too raw. And I think, with performances like that, and that goes for Nicola Pepe as well, you kind of sort of emphasise their managers for leaving these guys out. One thing I will say is that I do understand the other viewpoint that how are we going to know how good they are if we're not giving them games? But it's one of those things where, you know, I don't think both players, Martinelli and Pepe, did enough to, you know, put themselves in the hat for selection for Saturday. So, you know, and if they do get other chances, they've got to take them because, you know, football's a ruthless game. It's dog eat, dog. And, you know, as I said before, you know, there's no prisoners, there's no friends in football. You've got to be ruthless, mate, and take your chances. And that's going to be a theme for this season for those two players. And I'll say the same for Balogun, who I thought was unlucky not to start as well. You ask yourself a question, when is this guy going to get games? But can't complain. Eddie started, he took his chance. And so he justified Mikel's selection of him. Anyway, I've got to go. But it's nice to have a little chat about a win rather than a frustrating draw or a loss. Speak to you guys later.
Going to Russ for Lee Judges TV fan cam. Arsenal 2, Leeds United 0. Quite a difficult game really, because you were never sure until the whistle went that they weren't going to perhaps get something out of the game. But overall, well pleased that we stifled their high pressing game, and there were a few reasonable performances in there. Ben White was especially impressed with, alongside Mr. Holding. Both of them seem to take turns in breaking through the lines and pushing forward. But young Nketiah seemed to want to come towards the ball instead of going into spaces, and kept getting in people's way, and it was breaking down. A lot of good work done when they were breaking through the lines, and it was all coming to nothing. It was a good atmosphere, really. I mean, the Leeds fans were a lot quieter than I've known them before at our ground, and the Arsenal fans, again, were really up for it and really, really going for it for most of the game. We just went a little bit quiet towards the end once we got the second goal. That was a strange goal when Nketiah scored, by the way. That was, I think he mishit it, didn't he? But I did call it when Chambers came on. I said to my mate next to me, Gerald, I said, he'll score. He'll get on the score sheet, and he did. So 1-0 to Russell there. Yeah, it was a difficult game, but I never thought we was in much danger. And nothing else much to report, really. There was a few skirmishes with the Leeds fans, with stewards and things I see going on, which isn't good to see. Obviously some other stuff going on down in the away end, which, you know, not nice, but it is what it is. And a good day at the office for the Arsenal. The only concern towards the end was the injuries to Holding, which I think was a bit of cramp, and I think Ben White at the beginning of the half came off. He had a bit of a problem with a bit of a kick he took in the first half when he went on one of them runs. So that's not good news. But yeah, the Conga came on and done well. Lino was tied in goal, made a couple of good saves, and yeah, all in all, it was a reasonable watch. Quite a good game of football to watch, and we go again. The unbeaten run continues. And we move on to Leicester. So I'll see you after that game, because I'm going to that one. Up the Gunners. Come on, you Reds.
Lawrence for League Judges TV. Arsenal 2, Leeds 0. Very difficult game tonight. Leeds made it very hard for us. We got there in the end with two very weird goals. Callum Chambers and Eddie Nketiah, who looked like he totally miskicked the ball. But anyhow, good workmanlike performance all round. Leeds did cause us a few problems in the first half. Nothing in the second half came from them whatsoever. I think their heads went down after the first goal. But yeah, Leno had a good game between the sticks. I don't know what it is about making the keeper wear the yellow away kit. I mean, couldn't they have put a green kit on the guy? I mean, it's happened a couple of times. I'm not trying to be picky, but to see a goalkeeper wearing the complete away kit for that the outfield players wear is a bit, I don't know. I mean, I'm calling me old boys, but I like to see a goalkeeper in a traditional goalkeeper's kit. Back four itself looked very solid indeed. I was very surprised Ben White played tonight. I thought Arteta would have given him a rest. And I'm just hope he's fit for the weekend against Leicester. Hope it's not a serious injury he picked up. But as I said, the back four looked solid. Suarez looked very dangerous going down the right-hand side. Even Kolasinac had a good game for us. Holding, jury's still out on him. I'm still not sold on Holding. Midfield, again, I was surprised to see Smith Rowe in the lineup. I thought Odegaard would have gotten a game tonight. Maitland-Niles looked good. Pepe, I just can't suss this guy out. I really don't. I wouldn't say he had a poor game tonight, but tonight wasn't one of his better games either. Martinelli was in and out as well. He couldn't get into the game. And Nketiah took his goal. Well, I was going to say took his goal well. It was a bit of a miss kick, wasn't it? But it seems the Carabao Cup is his competition. But all in all, good workout tonight. But the important game is Saturday at Leicester, picking up 3 points and, catching up with the teams above us. But I'm very happy after today's game. Let's keep it going. Up the Gunners.
Leeds Judges TV fan cam live from the Emirates. Post game, Arsenal 2, Leeds United 0. We're through to the final 8. I got a scarf that's older than a lot of people's moms. Good night overall. Now look, I am not gonna. I'm generally pretty excited in the moment. When we win, I'm pretty happy. I don't care what the other situations are. I'll tell it to you straight. This game doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean we're back. It doesn't mean that we've put two in a row together after that incredible performance Friday. It doesn't mean that we are sluggish because the first half sucked for this game. This game was a one-off. It's a cup game. It matters because we've won. It matters because we're through. And it matters because we were better than they were. Uninspiring first half, but goals in the second half from super sub Callum Chambers. I mean, is there a better... No. Callum Chambers had nothing to do with that goal. Arteta subbing him in on an injury had nothing to do with that goal. But it's fun. It's fun to see Callum Chambers come in and score a goal and go over the sideline. Can we enjoy that? I'm enjoying it. And then, of course, Eddie Nketiah. The Eddie Nketiah that many prominent people have said is not good enough for the Arsenal. Also, many smart people have said he's not good enough for the Arsenal because he's not good enough for the Arsenal. Comes in and heads up play after 60 or 70 minutes of really not impacting the game at all. One brilliant moment, and it's 2-0. Look, man, cup games are cup games because they're cup games, and what I mean by that is you really can't tell too much about what's going to happen on Saturday against Leicester from that game. I wish you could. But that's the way. That's the nature of it. We're going to have to wait until Saturday. We're going to have to see how we play, and that's going to be the big one. But as for now, we need to stay in every competition we're in and be in the League Cup Final 8. Chelsea's through. Sunderland's through. A few more teams will make it through tomorrow. It can only help this team to get those games in. And by the time we get to the quarterfinals, semifinals, we'll probably see a little more of our first team play in these games, especially because we don't have Europe. So, in the meantime, having been at the game tonight, especially the second half, fun time, good fun, cheap tickets, lots of people here who aren't normally here, beers are flowing, and Arsenal's winning, and that is all that I could ask for. So for Leeds Judges TV, it's Magic Mike. And come on, you Gooners.
Hey guys, Daniel here for Lee Judges TV. Well, what can I say about that performance? I think it was one of those performances that we just take the win, but we just move on from. I don't think it was a great performance by any stretch of the imagination. I think we can just pretty much move on from this performance. When I saw the team lineup, I wasn't convinced. When I saw guys like El Neni, Maitland-Niles, Cedric Suarez, Kolasinac and Nketiah in the lineup, I was like, what is this manager doing? Why is he playing Nketiah? When we got guys like Balogun who are waiting, who are the future, and he's not picking them. He's picking Eddie Nketiah. For me, I wouldn't have picked Eddie Nketiah. Listen, I know he scored a goal, and it was a great goal as well that he scored. But the likelihood is, come January or come the summer, he's not going to be here. So I don't know why he's still picking him. But as for the performance itself, I just wasn't convinced. I mean, the first half, I think we were lucky. I think Leeds controlled the game very well in the first half. We wasn't really pressing. We wasn't really doing much in the final third, especially. We were just sloppy with our play. And I don't think we really deserved anything from that first half performance. I think Arteta got into them at half time because in the second half we seemed to press a lot more. We seemed to press the Leeds players a lot more, especially Maitland-Niles. He was pressing a bit more. He wasn't really doing that in the first half. So I think that's something to do with Arteta. And then obviously Ben White went off injured. Bit concerned. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully that's just precautionary. And then Callum Chambers comes on and I think it's like his first 2 touches of the game scores. Some people are calling that a masterclass from Arteta, but listen, I think that's more luck than anything. I don't think we can credit Arteta with that. I think it was just one of them fluky things that happened. But yeah, I just wasn't convinced by it. I think I'm glad that we got the win. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we got through to the next round. But I think it's just the type of performance. I think it's just the type of performance that you just write off and just move on to the next game. I wasn't too bothered about the fact that Arteta had made a lot of changes. I mean, I didn't like seeing those guys. I think there's players he could have put in there that would have done a better job, but still preserved the first team 11 that's been playing week in, week out in the Premier League. Like I said, we had likes of Lacazette, we had the likes of Balogun on the bench, and then I think he still could have picked a better 11, but still preserved that first team 11 that's been playing week in, week out in the Premier League. So I wasn't really too fussed that he made changes. It's just the amount of changes he made. I don't think he needed to make all them changes. I think he could have probably played some of the first team, just to kind of make it a bit easier, because it was more difficult than it needed to be. It was your typical League Cup game where you've got your second string players playing, and it just wasn't. You could tell these players that played tonight, most of them, the majority of them that played tonight, are leaving or not in Arteta's future plans. And we could tell that tonight. We could tell that those players weren't up to the job. A lot of them, seemed a bit rusty. That's what I got from tonight's game. They seemed a bit rusty. But listen, we did get the win. We did get through to the next round, which is the most important thing. And obviously, now we're into the quarterfinals, I think it is. So yeah, we just wait to see who we get now in the next round. But yeah, I think it was more difficult tonight than it needed to be. I think it was just one of them performances. It was frustrating, very, very frustrating. But we did get the win. And listen, you can only beat what's in front of you, and we did that tonight.
Yes, people, welcome to Leeds Judges TV, Albert JTV Fan Cam. Arsenal 2, Leeds United 0. I thought a reasonably comfortable night. Leeds threatened us on the counter at various times, but team lineup, there was a lot of Arsenal changes, more than I thought. The likes of Nketiah come in, Pepe came in, Kolasinac came in, Rob Holding came in, and Cedric came in. So yeah, a lot of changes for Arsenal, which obviously Martinelli started as well. For me, what tonight showed, even though I'm happy that we're through, a win's a win, you can only beat what's in front of you. Leeds, like I said, looked dangerous on some of the counter-attacks, but didn't really have any cutting edge. Again, Ben White showing maturity at the back and a solid performance before he came off. Hopefully it's not too serious. ESR showed undoubted moments of quality. Great save by Bernardo in the first half, by the way. Let me not forget that. And to be honest with you, you know what? I thought the second goal absolutely killed the game from Nketiah. But I think generally sort of looking at that game, tonight what I took out of it was that these fringe players are fringe players for a reason. Because I don't think particularly really any of them justified their selection tonight and did not give Mikel Arteta any headaches in terms of future team lineups. So yeah, comfortable night in the office. We're through to the next round. Bring on whoever you want to bring on, man. But yeah, like I said, a comfortable night. My Arsenal man in the match, it's a tough call. I would have gone for probably ESR before he came off. I thought he was solid again. So people, that's Leeds Judges TV, Albert JTV Fan Cam. This is me, over and out.
Hi, Fergus here for Leeds Judges TV Fan Cams. At home, didn't make the game tonight, but watched it on TV and was quite impressed. I can't say I was impressed with the lineups. I was a bit worried about the lineups, having Leno in there. In Nketiah, I would have probably had other players starting, maybe Balogun getting a run out ahead of Nketiah. But overall, a great result. The first half was quite cagey, 50-50. Probably Leeds probably having the better of the first half. And the second half we came out, were a little bit more direct. I was impressed with Leno, although I haven't been a huge advocate of him. And Chambers comes on and does a Bentner. He comes on from a substitution in a corner and scores a goal. Is it a rise, Sir Callum? Who knows? Then we have the goal that Eddie nearly fluffed. Great follow-up, great tenacity to take that ball and take it down as he did. But Jesus, did he nearly fluff his lines. But onwards, upwards, we're into the quarterfinals, into the draw for the quarterfinals of the Carabao or the League Cup. A favourable draw would be nice. It'd be nice to get some silverware this season and European football. You've been watching Fergus, Guns and Yellow Ribbons, for Leeds Judges TV.